Egel Azov, possibly one of the most mysterious, less understood episodes, and definitely the most tragic episode of the history of our nation. Egel Azov is a story very hard to understand on many levels. Pshat, ideas, what really went on there, why would people worship Egel Azov, what was Aaron's tafkid in the whole story. I'm not claiming to explain everything. This is going to be a short shir with one idea from the Chizkuni, and hopefully this idea will help us in our own growth in the way we should respond to so many Egel Hazahavs that unfortunately exist today. Why did they choose Egel Hazav? We'll just try to answer that one question. Yeah, with the words of the Chizkuni, why was a favorite animal to basically represent deity? Why is it eagle? Maybe a lion, maybe I don't know, unicorn. Why eagle? So says the Chizkuni here in the background. Raglem Shamalocha Shoris says like this: in Har Sinai, when Bnei Israel, so to speak, saw Hakadosh Baruch Hu, whatever that means. So they had a real vision of whatever, a real closeness, real discovery of the Eibush, of the only real thing that's there. The Erev Rav saw a much lower picture. They saw a lower image. Yeah, you can see it kind of behind me. It says the Chizkuni, they saw the feet of the Malachim. Malachim apparently, Raglen kekaf regel egel. The feet of the Malachim who are under Hashem have the shape of an eagle. Not that Chas v'Shalom I'm trying to represent this over here. Yeah, we're just talking metaphorically. The Chizkuni says, again, whatever that means, the image of the Malachim's feet is something that resembles, yeah, that exemplifies eagle. Okay, so now the people who are Erev Rav, being the lowest of the low of Klal Israel, those people, what they saw was the feet of the Malachim. Now they believed, and this I believe is the most crucial point in the story, they believed this is Hashem. They thought this is it. Hashem must have the shape of an eagle, of a calf, of a baby cow. Unbelievable. So the real Yidden actually saw whatever they saw was something way holier, greater, and magnificent. The Erev Rav, in their lowly perception, they saw Egel, and it's just saw the foot of the Egel. And now they said, okay, why did Aaron do whatever he did? I'm not dealing with this now. I'm sure there's about, I don't know, 500 shiurim in Torah anytime about Egel Azov. Pick any other shiur. It's okay. I won't be insulted. But now the point is that they viewed the Eibishter, they viewed Elokus as an Egel. That was because the maximum they could have reached was so low that you just saw the feet of the lowlier Malachim. What does it have to do with us today? What does it have to do with practicing believing Jews in 2026? So I'll tell you the following anecdote. Many times we face, sometimes we hear all kinds of strange philosophical, semi-philosophical ideas about Yiddishkeit, all kinds of secular people from the academia, and they come and tell us, the Torah is really this, and Hashem is really that, and Jewish practice really comes from this and from that, all kinds of strange, many times heretic ideas. And the anecdote is as follows. I have a friend, a person who's was not born Shomer Shabbos. Baruch Hashem, now he is. And I had this chus of, learning with him here and there, mechazikim in Yiddishkeit. And he told me last Purim, not a few days ago, last Purim, he told me that he heard a very funny, silly theory about Purim. What's the theory about? It says somewhere, wherever, So somebody invented the theory that in many religions, there's one day a year in which they allow you to do whatever you want. One day a year, you don't have to keep the religion. There are such religions apparently in Africa and India, I don't know. Yeah, there are rules throughout the year. One day a year, do whatever you want. And it's very good because the people who invented that religion, they say, one day a year, the cat will be away, the mice will play, everything will work out well because people will just be liberated of the shackles of the religion, and then the rest of the year they'll be able to keep the religion and be good kids. And that's Purim. Purim apparently is a day when you're allowed to do whatever you want. Purim is a day where you can go shikar, you can hit, you can do averas, you can dress like a woman, even worse, you can have all kinds of strange tendencies, do whatever you want on Purim, according to religion, according to Jewish religion, and that's it. So Jewish religion is just one other religion on the menu, and look, we're the same like other goyim. Anybody who knows what Purim is about realizes that's a silly, sad joke. We know that Purim is the holiest day. We know that on Purim, although there are certain kulos in halachas of nezikin, halachas of cross-dressing, possibly, obviously Purim is not a day when you can do whatever you want. Mishnah Berurah clearly says you have to make sure you bench, even if you're shikar, don't be too shikar, don't miss Ma'ariv. We all know that Purim is a very, very, very holy day, Purim Kippurim. So why am I sharing these nonsense with you, holy people? Because that's the point. We have to understand that all these ideas, perception of secular people, and I don't mean chas v'sholom, the nice secular guy who doesn't know any better, but those people who are actually out there to outsmart the Torah. Those people are out there to go against the Torah and invent all kinds of twisted theories. It comes from their lack of understanding or the very, very minimal keyhole vision of Torah. Just like the Erev Rav viewed Hashem, chas v'sholom, like an eagle, and really what there is something very, very mitzumtzum, so too is a secular guy who goes and he sees from people being shikar, being silly, dressing funny, and he says, let's put two and two together. These from people do whatever they want. They're actually breaking all Tariq mitzvahs. Oh, and I heard that in Africa they also do the same. Now I have a theory. We have to understand whenever we face, especially people who deal with kiruv, or people who deal with secular people, you have to understand all these theories are based on horrible lack of understanding. There are many, many, many other examples. People should misunderstand words in the Torah. All kinds of reform rabbis in America, it's ridiculous how they just don't understand the basic text of Torah, and on that they build an entire theory. So why am I sharing this with you? Because it's the scary part? The scary part is not only the Erev Rav worshipped Egel Azov, everybody else did. Why? Because although other Yidden knew better, but the Yetzer Hara was there. The Yetzer Hara really told them, listen, maybe the theory is stupid. We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not Egel Azov, but let's have fun. As it says Mufurash, Lechot Israel be'egel, ele kedei latir lahem es arayos. Bnei Israel only sinned with the Egel Azov in order to permit them arayos. It was a carte blanche to do whatever they want. That's the tragedy. You can have one person inventing this silly theory, but he's dragging with him, he's bringing with him into the pit other people who may know better, but they're convinced by his theory because of their Yetzer Hara. And then we have from people going off the derech l'aleinu. We have to understand whenever we hear any theory that doesn't sound 100% Torah-oriented, we have to be careful, we have to be critical, and we have to understand it's coming from, not from anything that's smarter or better. It's coming actually from a place of tzimtzum, a place of misunderstanding the basic ideas of Torah, misunderstanding Hashem. And Be'ezras Hashem, we should be zoiche to tzlacha, bracha, real Havana in Torah, real understanding, real connection to Hashem, and see the face of Mashiach b'mheira b'yameinu amen. Thank you, and a good Shabbos Kisisa.